Now, when you're running a business, you are going to make some mistakes sometimes. Spoiler alert, it is a fact of life and it's inevitable. No one likes it. No one likes making mistakes, but it happens. So, what do you do when you have made a big screw up, a big fuck up, and you feel really sick about it? How do you get back on that money-making train? Well, today I am talking about some of those screw-ups that happen to pretty much everyone in business, what to do about it, and also how to get your confidence and your mojo back. I'm going to share some of the most common ones I see, what to do about it, and also how you can get back on that money train so quickly. By the way, I'm Denise Duffield-Thomas. Hello. I'm a money mindset mentor and I'm founder of the Money Bootcamp. I've been in business a long time. I've made millions of dollars and I've seen it all. You know what? You might think that because I am a success in business that I do everything perfectly. And you know what? Almost. I'm a Virgo. We're pretty good. We're pretty perfect. See, I screwed it up there. But you know what? We still make mistakes all the time. Check out my bloopers because there is no point where being in business is going to be perfect. There will always be broken links. You will send out wrong emails. You will annoy people. You'll get your prices wrong. That's a really big one. You'll screw up your launches. You'll screw up your marketing. And you know what? It's all okay. It's all okay. These things happen in business all the time, even to the most successful business people. But it's how you deal with it and it's how you pick up the pieces that really, really matters. Now, I've noticed that a lot of entrepreneurs tend to make business screw-ups in 3 really common areas. So I'm sure you're going to recognize one. Boundaries, investing in the wrong things, and pricing your products and services wrong. Okay, so you will make mistakes in at least one of these 3 and often more than one. You know what I see though? Often people tend to really internalize these really normal problems and make it mean something about themselves. Like maybe I'm not good at business. Maybe it's a sign from the universe to quit. Maybe I'm a terrible person. And it can be really tempting to just throw it all in, quit, stop marketing yourself, maybe go back to your job and just not risk it anymore. So before you do that, stop. Really, mistakes are a rite of passage moment. And you might have found this video because you feel sick, you want some reassurance, and I'm here to tell you that these can be really important milestones to actually celebrate. And we're going to reframe that so you can celebrate these things as an important rite of passage. And then when you see it in the future, you can recognize it, let it go quicker, and celebrate it even again. So let's talk about the first thing, boundaries, that B word. We all know that we should have good boundaries with clients, but it's really easy to screw this up and to make mistakes. Why? Why do so many entrepreneurs have a tough time setting boundaries with clients? Well, often we're conditioned to be nice to people. You might have nice girl syndrome. You might be a people pleaser. And I bet that you felt like a real mean bitch for saying no to your clients or putting boundaries into place. I know I have as well. But without good money boundaries, clients can take advantage of you. They can drain you, even if they don't mean to. Your resentment can build, and suddenly your business doesn't seem so fun anymore. You can get burnt out, and then you can quit your business. So here are some things that I see around boundaries all the time that are really small, but they add up. Things like going over time with your clients. You might think that you're being generous and giving them more time and space, but it's not always the best way to serve people. It can be really overwhelming for them and for you. Same with over-delivering. Maybe you let clients add more work without extra pay. This is known as scope creep. Oh, I'll just do that for them. Oh, I'll just do that for them. And then before you know it, you're super burnt out. Maybe you're too available for your clients at the moment and they're messaging you day and night. Most of the time, these boundary problems come from a place of wanting to be generous and available, but it can have a really detrimental effect on your business. You get burnt out. You can't have any more people. Often though, when you're over delivering like this, often you attract clients who still feel like it's never enough and they're not even happy anyway. And that sucks. Now, don't worry, if you have this as a problem, I do have a resource for you at the end of this video. Now, let's face it, good boundaries are a business essential, but it takes trial and error to learn them. So I want to ask you, what's the biggest boundary violation that's causing you stress at the moment? Is it around invoicing? Is it around time? Is it people paying late? What can you automate? What can you put in place? How can you teach yourself to say no? And don't worry, I've got tons of help and I've got scripts for you as well. So make sure to stick around. The biggest thing to know is that setting boundaries, it doesn't make you mean. It's a really necessary part of being business, and it can make your business interactions feel nice and clean and clear, and for your people to feel like they're being taken care of. It's never too late to renegotiate your boundaries and fix this, I promise. But start with the thing that stresses you out the most. Okay, let's talk about another big mistake. Investing in the wrong things. This is so painful. At the start of your business especially, you don't necessarily feel secure enough in your own decision-making. You don't know who's good. You don't know what to do. So you jump on a sale because everyone else is buying a course. Or you think you need a big, sexy website to copy someone else, but it might not be in alignment with you. And this is where you might not be practicing discernment about where to invest your money. And I get it. It can be really hard. And I see a lot of people get into trouble with this and get into a ton of debt. So you have to be honest with yourself. And it's fine to invest in your business. You have to invest in your business. But making decisions out of FOMO, out of feeling bad about yourself, can lead to investment in the wrong things. Things like hiring the wrong staff, taking business advice from the wrong people, or signing up for things that you don't really need. And I remember that I felt sick sometimes investing in something when I realized it was a waste of time and money. And it really, really sucks, especially if you didn't have it. Learning the power of discernment as you go through your business, it will save you money and it will really boost your power in your business because you won't be spending on things that don't move the needle. And you start to attract more of what you want because you're more clear on where you're going. So here's a tip for you. Before I invest in anything, I ask myself, do I really need this right now? And I check in to see if I'm investing out of FOMO. And then the second question I ask is, how many of my own products and services do I need to sell to make this money back? Because sometimes you really don't need it right now. You're just getting caught up in the marketing hype. And sometimes it's actually not going to help you make money in your own business. So if you equate the investment to what you offer, you might realize, oh yeah, actually that will help me sell 5 or 10 of my own products and services. Either way, it's a decision that's based on fact and logic rather than FOMO or because you feel bad about yourself. Now, we've all been there. Please forgive yourself for any of those past money decisions. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't invest in your business going forward. You can just learn from it, and you probably have. And when I make a bad investment decision, something that I just go, oh man, I can't believe I did that. Let me tell you what I say because it makes it really funny. I go, lucky we're rich. And you might think I'm being a dick because, okay, yeah, I do have money now. But I started saying that right at the start of my business, way before I was making money, because it made me laugh when I made a bad decision or a bad mistake, and it puts it into perspective. Lucky we're rich. It means, you know what? Nothing's forever. It's not that bad. And there's always more money. You can always make more money in the future. Try it. It's super, super fun to say it. And of course, next time, take a couple of minutes to check in, ask yourself those questions. Do I need it right now? And how many of my own things do I need to sell before you make those investments? Okay, here's the last big mistake that I see. Chronic. And it's undercharging. Now, of course, this is one of my favorite things to talk about because it's a huge issue for entrepreneurs, and it's something that as a money mindset mentor, I can really help you with. When you underprice what you do, you get burnout because you have to serve so many people. You feel resentful because you're giving too much and you're not receiving in return. And it can get you stuck in a scarcity cycle because you have to take on clients just for the money, and it becomes a self-fulfilling thing. Now, before you get bummed out that you've made some pricing mistakes, I want to let you know you're in charge, you're the boss. You can change your prices anytime you like. Prices are just made up. They really are. You can increase your prices however you like. There are no rules around it. If you're getting great results, if you've got a big long wait list, and you know that you're giving more value than is reflected in your prices, you're allowed to change your prices. You're allowed to renegotiate with clients no matter how long you've worked with them. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to push back and tell people that extra work is out of scope, that you'll be charging if they want it fast. It's your business. There are so many customers out there for you, and there are customers at every single price point. You don't have to undercharge because you're worried that nobody will work with you anymore. It's totally safe for you to charge great prices. See how that feels? It's safe for me to charge good prices. It's safe for me to increase my prices. How does that feel? Now, pricing problems, it's not a permanent problem. And as I said, I've got a great resource for this. If you go to denisedt.com/increase as in increase your prices, I have a free step-by-step guide for you to increase your prices with integrity, with class. Super easy. And I'll put a link under the video too. All right. So we've talked about 3 mistakes, but how do you get your confidence back when you've made these mistakes? And how do you get back in the game? Now, there's a couple of things that you can do to instantly feel better, and I want you to feel better no matter how big or small the mistake was. Number 1, you got to reframe your thinking. It's totally okay. There are no mistakes really in business. It's just part of your apprenticeship. It's part of your learning curve as an entrepreneur. And you know what? Sometimes you try something and it will work. And we want to be able to take those risks as entrepreneurs. So if you've screwed up something recently, I want you to reframe it as an important rite of passage. You can go, oh my God, I've screwed up my first refund request. Yes, because everybody makes these mistakes. Perfection isn't the goal. Perfectionism isn't going to make you money. Showing up consistently, trying things, telling people how you can help them even imperfectly, that's the way you make money, not by being perfect. Number 2, forgiveness. Forgive everybody involved, including yourself, because otherwise you're going to be thinking about this at 3 o'clock in the morning for the next year. And I want you to let it go. Make a conscious decision to forgive yourself. Let it go. Even if it's other people that were involved in the stuff up as well. It could have been your staff. It could have been somebody else. So it's important to release the resentment so you can move on. And you can literally just go, I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive that person. You can cut the cords. You can do lots of woo-woo stuff. You can burn shit if you want to. You can get as woo-woo as you like. But it's really good to let it go so it doesn't become part of who you are. Okay, number 3, to get your mojo back, you have to take responsibility. If you have made a mistake, you have to own it. I have had people in my business made such big mistakes, but they didn't tell me about it. And to be honest, I was way more upset about that than fixable mistakes. So if you've screwed something up, admit to it, apologize, move on, so you don't have to think about it anymore. Sometimes just that energy can feel really gross. If you have to apologize to your community for screwing something up, just do it. You can hide under the covers, hug your cat, but you're not going to die by admitting it. And then you can get up and do it again. It's totally fine. Now, here's the most important lesson, and this is the thing that is going to help you reframe everything. Number 4, look for the lesson so it becomes a really useful event for yourself and for other people. Whenever I screw up, I go, this is going to be such a good chapter for my next book. Or I'm like, oh, I can't wait to do a blog post about this. Everything is useful. especially if it can be a cautionary tale for other people, or you can share what you've learned. Now, this is a really stupid example, right? But I got a ton of photos done, and I had this really cute jumpsuit that had this like dropped crotch. I got the photos back, and in every single photo, I look like I have this giant schlong because of the dropped crotch of this thing, or a saggy diaper, just these big old flaps hanging around. So many photos. Now, instead of feeling upset about the wasted time, energy, money, everything, I made schlong lemonade out of those photos. I made a funny video and I used it because there's a lesson in everything. There's content in everything. You can write cautionary tales. You can write about it on your blog. You can share it in videos. You can make a song out of it. You can share and help other people with what you've learned. Never buy dropped crotch jumpsuits. That is what I've learned. And I can tell you about it and then you'll never do it. So everything that you have screwed up, you can learn from it. And of course, don't just make schlong lemonade. You can do practical things like changing up your client policies so it doesn't happen again. Change your T&Cs so it doesn't happen again. Nothing is wasted. Remember, nothing is forever either. And I know it sounds cliched, but this too will pass, and you will end up coming out of this so much more experienced and wise. This too will pass. Even if it feels shitty right now, even if you feel bad, even if you've screwed up in ways that have hurt other people, apologize, let it go. Nothing is irreversible. Even if you feel like you've screwed up your pricing, remember, it doesn't have to be forever. Even if you've screwed up some boundaries, it doesn't have to be forever. It's your business. You're allowed to change anything you like. Your business, your rules. Now remember, I have a free resource for you. So if you didn't sign up before, do it now. If you have made all those common mistakes I've said about being overgenerous, not charging enough, remember, you can increase your prices literally this week if you want to, or this month. And so in this free resource, I'll show you how these simple mistakes are really costing you money in your business. But best of all, word for word scripts on how to have tricky pricing conversations with your clients. Plus a really simple and effective strategy to increase your prices without freaking out, without losing all of your customers. So that link again is denisedt.com/increase. Do it now before you forget. All right, gorgeous. I hope this video has made you feel better about your mistakes. I know you're going to remember the schlong lemonade for a long time, but remember this too will pass, and it's your time and you're ready for the next step.